up 2 spots.
So Sam Lowe's picked up 1 place, and on that run for first corner, he's in 2nd place. That graphic there that's just gone on the top left-hand picture of your corner at 25 laps. It is a 16-lap Grand Prix as well. And these riders are going to be wary too of these rain spots that they'll see on their screen, they'll see on their visors. You've got to be careful. Chantra then it is that leads. They attack turn 10 for the first time. Here's Vietti trying to find a way back through on Arenas, his former Moto3 rival.
He went wide through turn 8 and got well out of shape. He was trying to shape up in Simone Corsi, actually, who's up in 4th position from 9th on the grid. He's really come through the field and made good progress. Ben Schneider, though, who started in the middle of the 2nd row, he was going wide, I think. I saw him at the top of the screen going way wide into turn 10, so already problems for him.
But a brilliant start then for Thai rider Somkhat Chantra in this part of Southeast Asia. There'll be fans right now in Thailand going absolutely crazy. Jake Dixon got a pretty good initial launch off the line, and he looked like he was going to get the whole shot, but Chantra was that little bit sharper and got the late breaker. Here comes Vietti then now. Young Italian versus very experienced Italian. Pedro Costa getting the notice that he can come in for his long lap penalty. Oh! You've got to be careful because Simone Corsi, he's one of the most aggressive. He's got a bit of a reputation, hasn't he, for sometimes being a little bit too aggressive. Corsi, he picks up Vietti in that final corner. Lap 1 of 16 done. It's Chantra that leads.
It's Canet taking full advantage. He's also come racing through the field. He started 13th. He's already up into 4th now, up 9 spots from the grid. As you can see left-hand side of the screen, Ben Schneider, a big loser, down 10 spots. Acosta will look to get that long lap penalty out of the way, I'd imagine. He doesn't take it just yet. He's too busy battling with his teammate for P8.
Yeah, Augusto Fernandez, again, he got that initial launch off the line very, very well. We see this so often from him. This is what Augusto Fernandez struggles with. It's on those fresh tyres with a full fuel tank. There's nobody really quicker than him in the second half of races, but he gives himself too much to do to get himself back in that podium battle. On that first lap alone, he lost nearly 2 seconds.
Well, what a difference a fortnight makes for Somkhat Chantra. Corsi going in really hot. I think Arenas is going to have to really give that one up, and indeed he does. Arenas forced way out wide. Vietti looks like he's going to pick up the pieces too. He moves back through into 5th position. Yeah,
Corsi just picked up Arenas there, and Vietti said thank you very much. Corsi's aggression moved Arenas off the line. He ran wide himself, and Vietti just swept straight on through. So key move that for Vietti. He's got to try and find a way through away from Corsi, because Corsi won't care that he's the world championship leader. He's out there for individual glory.
Arenas way out wide again. I think he's now dropped behind the 2 Red Bull KTM Iron bikes. Indeed he has. He's now down to 9th position. Acosta's looking punchy in the early stages of this race. He's certainly not going to be afraid of getting on the inside of Simone Corsi, although he's probably seen what happened a lap ago with Vietti. He's going to think a little bit better of that, and he gets picked up by his teammate.
Simon Crowford just saying the rain is starting to get that little bit heavier. Then down in pit lane, Chantra, fastest lap of the Grand Prix, a 1:36.044. Rapid pace being set by Chantra. Acosta fights back then on Augusto Fernandez, and that's a late lunge coming in from Albert Arenas. He's got some trust in that Dunlop front tyre, hasn't he, Arenas? And he does make it stick on the inside of Fernandez as they sweep through this crucial turns 2 and 3.
Well, Fernandez back up the inside. He's trying to push Arenas out of the way. Still no sign of Acosta coming through the long lap penalty. He won't want to wait too much longer for that, otherwise he could land himself in trouble. We did see a rider back in the Moto3 race failed to adhere to the long lap penalty and had to take a couple of them later on. Chantra though continues to lead at the front. His lead still around half a second as Dixon looks to close in on the back of his fellow Brit Sam Lowe's in 2nd and 3rd.
How nerve-wracking will that be? Clear signs there of rain spots on our camera through that first, well, that really fast 2nd sector. Albert Arenas is getting Moto3 flashbacks here, isn't he? It's like a Moto3 scrap as he fights to keep himself inside that top 6. This is brilliant by Somkhat Chantra. Let's not forget as well, he missed the season opening Grand Prix. A fracture on his little finger with his left hand kept him out of the season opener. He's bounced back in stunning fashion. 4th on the grid, made a stunning start, got quickly past the Brits of Lowe's and Dixon, who are still there in 2nd and 3rd place. But Somkhat Chantra can't ever recall a situation where he's led a Grand Prix in the past, so new territory for the Thai man.
Yeah, as you can see the instructions now going out to Pedro Acosta to take his long lap penalty. He's still battling away with his teammate Augusto Fernandez. But in these conditions, if you do have a bit of spots of rain on the visor, in many ways the hardest place to be in this Grand Prix is at the front, because the riders behind can gauge themselves against the rider in front, see what grid levels are up to, and if they see the rider in front struggling, then they can start to ease their way towards. As Acosta nearly gets well and truly out of shape into turn 1, and maybe perhaps he's actually putting his leg out. I think that's what he is actually saying. He's putting his leg out just to warn the riders behind him. I'm coming into the long lap penalty loop now.
Yeah, he did this. He had a bit of a dummy run yesterday. It was pretty dirty and slick and greasy in that long lap penalty we saw in the Moto3 race. It didn't really have a detrimental effect on the outcome of the Grand Prix. Now then, Acosta drops back in. He was in 7th place in that first sector when he came into long lap penalty. Let's see how much damage that's done for him. 15th, so he lost 8 places. He's still got time to recover and get himself back into top 10 contention, but with the shortened race distance, only 13 laps to go. Sam Lowe's a bit too eager on the gas coming out of turn number 10. He lights up that Dunlop rear tyre. That's going to also light up the eyes of Jake Dixon immediately behind him, and this has now given Somkiat Chantra an advantage of nearly 3/4 of a second.
And that's a bigger lead than it might seem, of course, in a shortened race. If Dixon does feel he has the pace to get past his compatriot Sam Lowe's and chase off after Chantra, he won't want to be waiting too long to make that move, of course. Only 13 laps to go, 12 as they come across the line on the exit of these next 2 corners. Dixon then starting to really close in. Those are the clouds you can see in the background that are moving ominously in our direction. Chantra's lead now closing in on 1 second.
Yeah, Chantra pre-season said it's time to step up, time to finish in the top 10 on a regular basis. Well, he's making good on that promise right now, isn't he? Fastest lap of the Grand Prix, briefly held by Chantra. It's been better by Vietti, who's the first man in the 135s this afternoon, a 135.951 from your Qatar winner. Vietti, though, has already dropped back over 2 seconds behind your race leader Chantra, so there's a lot of ground for him to recover with just 12 laps remaining.
A battle of the Brits is brewing here between Lowe's and Dixon. Chantra's lead is over 1 second now, 1.1 as you can see top left of your screen. That will be starting to catch the attention of Jake Dixon, who clearly feels he's got the pace to chase down the race leader, and you can see him now visibly faster than Sam Lowe's as he now gets up the inside. We're not used to seeing people overtake through there into turn 6, but Jake Dixon does get up the inside as the spots of rain continue to hit our cameras. Dixon up into 2nd place, and now he'll be wanting to get his head down and chase after the leader as Canet now has another go at Sam Lowe's. Lowe's down to 4th.
Yeah, Sam Lowe's is... Oh, Dixon's gone down! No, Jake Dixon had only just taken 2nd place from Sam Lowe's in the Battle of Britain, and Jake Dixon's battle for a career first podium in Moto2 is over. Trail breaking into that tricky turn number 10. We've seen so many riders caught out there, top end of the circuit, and having just taken 2nd place, Jake Dixon goes down and out of this Grand Prix. It's quite a long way round that corner. The front end just washes out from underneath Dixon. That is a golden chance blown by Dixon. The pole man down and out. Jorge Martinez Aspar can't believe it. Head in hands, pure frustration for the Aspar team.
And that's Simone Corsi down as well on the MV Augusta. He'd had a very good start to this Grand Prix. He was running inside the top 6 as well. So we've lost 2 key contenders from this leading group. Canet now up into 2nd place. Look at Arbolino now coming through on Alba Arenas. This is now the battle for 5th position, led by Fernandez, with Arbolino looking to come through. Arbolino, of course, who was so impressive in Qatar, he now leads our 2nd group in 5th.
You just wonder whether Chantra's pace at the head of this Grand Prix just forced Jake Dixon into that mistake. You could see Chantra's, Lewis said, opening up an advantage of over a second for the first time in this Grand Prix. He was pretty keen and eager to get through on Sam Lowe's, who was struggling on that lap, who also lost a place to Canet as well. And Dixon, having only just, 5 seconds previously gone into that 2nd place, unfortunately, what a chance for a podium finish slips through his grasp here in Indonesia.
So news to bring you then ahead of the Motogp race, which follows us. That race has now been reduced to 3/4 race distance due to the same reasons, of course, of this race. 20-lap Motogp race coming up then. That's coming up at 3 o'clock local time. But let's focus on the race ahead of us. Chantra's lead then has come down slightly.